Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to cover how to download financial statement data into Excel and Google Sheets. And I'm going to show you how you can do this multiple ways through both an add-in and through Power Query. So the website I'm going to use for this example is called AlphaVantage. And the URL is just alphavantage.co. So if we go onto the site, there's a section right here at the homepage saying, get a free API key, which is what you'll need to connect to this data. And if I click on that, all you have to do is enter in a little bit about yourself, your organization, put in an email, and click to generate a free API key. And then once you've got that, you can use that for downloading the data. Now, this is a free API key, so there is a limit of 25 requests per day. Now, obviously, you can pay more for more requests, but as long as you're not downloading more than making 25 downloads a day, then you're fine. Now, once you've got that, you can head over to the spreadsheet section, and here you can download add-ons that are ready to go. So there's both an Excel add-on and one for Google Sheets. So if I click on the one for Office 365 Excel add-on full documentation, you'll get information about it, how to install it, and there's also example spreadsheets. So I'd recommend just jumping straight to this because this gives you a template that you can use straight away. So if I go to the very bottom here, there's options for different types of spreadsheet. We've got quotes and series, economic indicators, commodities. We've also got fundamental data. And this is the one that's going to contain income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow information. So I've already downloaded this one on my computer. So I'm going to open that up and show you what it looks like. So the very first tab that opens up to is an overview tab where it's got your ticker symbol selected. And obviously you can change and that'll update the data. And here you've got generic details about the sector it's in, the industry, the address, and you've also got metrics that you might find on Yahoo Finance, such as PEG ratio, book value, those sorts of things. So pretty generic stuff. You've also got earnings history data as well. You can look at both an annual view and quarterly, and so there's drop downs already built in here. So it's really cool because it's effectively created a template for you. There's other tabs, earnings calendar, listing status, but filings is going to be the one that contains your financial data that you're looking for. So we've got the period end date, revenue, gross profit, operating income, SG&A. So all the main, metrics that you'd get from a financial statement. So it's pretty good and pretty comprehensive. And so a lot of good data that you can download. And as you can see, it goes back a fair bit. We're going back to 2007 here for Apple. So that's a lot of, or for Microsoft. So that's a lot of data that, we can get through just one simple request. And, since it's set up in a template format, it's really easy to make these changes. So if I say, okay, I want to look at Apple's financials, change the ticker symbol, and it's going to download that. So now I've got the revenue, gross profit, all these details for Apple. Now you'll notice every time I make a change, it does trigger a new download, a new request. So it's one thing to keep in mind is that when you're making these requests, it's gonna eat up that daily limit a little bit, right? So you just want to be careful not to be making too many changes at once. Otherwise, you could, even though you're attempting to do one download, it's triggering multiple requests. Similarly, if I change this from quarterly to annual, right, that's going to do another download, right? So it's going to automatically update that information. And so you can also toggle between income statement and balance sheet and cash flow. And so you get different fields. But as you can see, a pretty good option for downloading this into Excel. Really easy to use. I would just suggest just be mindful of when you're making changes that, it's going to automatically, when it recalculates, it's going to download that new information and eat up a request while doing so. And the one thing you'll also have to do is when you first open up the file, there's a tab here for AlphaVantage Web, and if you click on Open Task Pane, there's an option to enter your API key in here. So if you put that in there and update it, then you'll be good to go to download the data. So now let's flip over to Google Sheets. So I've opened up a new Google Sheets tab in here. And if you want to download the AlphaVantage extension, all you have to do is go to Extensions, Add-ons, Get Add-ons. And then what you want to do is just do a search for Alpha Vantage market data, and then you've got it on this. I've already installed it onto Google Sheets, so I have it available on here. I'm going to show you how it works. So basically, it works just as you would use any other formula. So now if I type in equals AV get, and then you'll see all these different functions that you can use to get different details. So for example, what I use in this case is get company filing. So just like before in the Excel template, we're using the company filings. So let's say I type in Microsoft as my ticker. For the filing, it'll be income statement, and then the period being quarterly. And now it'll download the same data set as in Excel. So if you don't have, if it's not working, if you don't see it, make sure that when you go to the extensions, you enter your API key, and then once you've got that, it should be able to work and download. So a really easy way to get this in both Google Sheets and Excel. And with Google Sheets, obviously you have a bit more control as far as the formula, because you can update multiple things at once. Obviously in Excel, if you've got automatic calculations recalculating all the time, then it's going to trigger those downloads each time you make a change. Whereas in Google Sheets, you can change the ticker, the type of statement you want to download, and whether it's quarterly or annual as well. And I'll make all those changes at once before you re-trigger a new request. Now what I'm going to do is flip back into Excel, and this time I'm going to show you how you can download this data using Power Query. So if you don't want to install an add-on, if you want to do that, if you just want to use Power Query, you can do that as well. So here's how. So in Power Query, to download the data, we're just going to go to the Data tab, and we're going to select the From Web option. And so the URL we're going to use is going to be dependent on the type of report we want to download. And to get that information, we're going to go back to the Alpha Vantage site, and there's a section here on documentation. So the documentation tab, you can see these are all the details that you need. So under fundamental data, we've got income statement, balance sheet, cash flow. So let's go to income statement here, and you'll see this is the example URL for IBM. So it's using IBM as an example. So we've got alphavantage.co query, income statement, we've got a section for the symbol, and obviously API key is demo. So this is where you would put in your own API key. So if I copy that link, and let's go back into here, paste it, and hit OK. And then now using that connection, we can download our data. So how it downloads is, as you can see, we've got an option between annual reports and quarterly reports. So we don't specify that at the beginning. So if you do want to toggle between annual and quarterly reports, my suggestion would be to make two separate queries, two separate tabs, one for quarterly, one for annual, and set it up that way. So I'm going to go with quarterly report here, open up the list. So that gives me a list of records. Now I'm going to convert this to a table. Hit OK, just leave the default options, and then expand this column out. I'm going to not include the column name as a prefix, and just like that, we've got the same downloads as before. And so now what you can do is hit close and load, download a new Excel, and you've got it saved into Power Query. So there are ways you can obviously adjust this query if you wanted to make it a bit more customizable, in the sense of updating the URL. So if you go to like advanced editor, we've got options here for obviously the API key, which presumably would be fixed, but you can use variables for the stock symbols such as IBM, and a variable for the function such as income statement. Or what you could also have is separate downloads, like as I mentioned, one for the income statement, one for the cash flow, and that sort of thing, just to keep it simple in that sense, and perhaps a little bit cleaner. And then you could just refresh which query you want to use. So I'll show you briefly how we can set up named ranges to work within our query. So I'm going to cancel this out and go back into Excel without triggering a query here. So let's say we add a couple rows here, just add some space here. And let's add a field for a ticker symbol. And let's go back to Microsoft again. And I'm going to create a named range called ticker. So now I've got my named range. Now I can go back here and edit my query. And what I'm going to do is say, okay, I'm going to use that ticker symbol to determine my the stock symbol that I want to download. So what I'm going to do is go in the advanced editor. And I'm going to start by creating a range here for, let's say, my ticker. And I'm going to set this equal to excel.currentWorkbook. And then want to make sure that we close the parentheses, open the curly brackets. And then for the name, it's going to be ticker, as I specified in my named range there. Then close that out, and then got the content. And then we just want to make sure we're selecting the first row and the first column. Column 1 is the default that it'll be. And so we've got my ticker. And so now we've got that set up. And so far, no syntax errors. What I'm going to do for the web contents here now, I'm going to adjust this. So what we've got here is we've got symbol equals IBM. I'm going to get rid of IBM. So I'm going to close this out to end the quote there and use an ampersand to connect this to my ticker. That field that named range that I just selected. Use an ampersand, open the quote back up again, and now the rest of it. So if that worked correctly, we should have Microsoft's data instead of, yeah, so we have Microsoft in there as my ticker. We've got the source. And so obviously it's giving me a demo, so it's not allowing me to do this. I'd have to put in my API. But basically that's how we would set up the named range, and making sure that it's set up correctly and more dynamic. So let me go in here and just populate an API key that I just generated right now. And there we go. So it still works the same way. The quarterly reports, converted table, right? And that looks correct, matches to Microsoft. So let's close and load this. And so the download is done. So let's say I want to change this back to Apple. Change this to Apple. And I just want to refresh this individual query. So right click, refresh, and there we go. We got it. So that's how you could set up your named ranges to work with Power Query. So if you wanted to create your own template, you don't want to necessarily install someone else's add-in. This is how you can do it with Power Query. And again, you could also create another named range for the income statement. The process would be the same. The main thing you're doing is creating a named range in here and going back to edit Power Query in here, and then making your changes through the advanced editor, where you set up that name range in here. You just want to be careful with the syntax just to make sure you've got your curly brackets set up. You've got content 0, column 1, and then you've got that named range properly referenced. Insert into your URL, and you're good to go. So that's how you can do that. So as you can see, you can use the Alpha Advantage site to either download the data through Power Query, through the Google Sheets add-on, or the Excel add-on. So you've got a lot of options here. The main thing to remember is, again, you've got that request limit of 25. So with Power Query, you may have a bit more control, and you can still set up a dynamic spreadsheet. But if you don't want to and you're comfortable using an add-on, you can just use the one that they provide, which is fairly easy to use. So that's a wrap on how to download financial statements in Excel and Google Sheets. If you found this video useful, please leave a like and be sure to subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.